Hey there. So one of the volleyball leagues that I play in, uh, they sent out an email, must have been a couple days ago. And so I'm getting email from the captain. Actually, I played 2 nights in this league. So I'm getting emailed from the captains asking basically, do you want to play again? Because this league has said, oh, we have gym permits starting October 1st, basically, and that they're watching the government regulations and that barring any delays, that they're going to be ready to start October 1st. And I am struggling with this question with whether or not to play this year and whether or not we'll even get to play this year because I know that even, sending kids back to school, I shouldn't say even, that's a much bigger deal than just adults playing volleyball. That has been such a big discussion and a source of issue for a lot of people. And I know a lot of people that are on my teams have kids and they're trying to figure out, like, are they going to send their kids back to school, or like, how is that going to work for them? And like, I don't for myself, like, I don't have kids, and so that's not a thing that I'm really thinking about, but I am thinking about, we play in school gyms, like that's where these leagues take place. And so, how does that work? Do we, like, are they going to be sanitized before and after we use them? Because certainly having third party use of their facilities can't be very safe, or like it feels like it wouldn't be very safe for those kids. And I'm not really thrilled about the idea of being indoors with at least 25 other people, because there's always 2 courts that are happening, 6 players aside, like that's a lot as well. Like, it's a lot closer quarters than playing outdoors. Plus, we're indoors. Like, how are they going to make sure that we don't become part of the problem and just start spreading this disease like crazy? And I don't know that we have an answer for that. And as much as I want to play, like I really do, and I know that it causes problems for me when I don't, both physically and mentally. Like, I just don't feel good if I'm not able to play volleyball regularly. And so I'm trying to weigh that against not wanting to be part of the problem and not wanting to be spreading this virus. And, I want to help keep it under control by making tough choices and staying home. But like, it's a risk. The fear is greater than the risk, but if we don't have any fear, then the risk becomes huge, because then we're just out and about doing whatever we want and we're not really taking it seriously. And so, yeah, I think I've decided that I don't want to play, but it's also sort of a wait and see moment where we don't know what it's going to look like, right? Maybe they don't even let us play, so I don't need to think about it. Or maybe they have precautions in place, or maybe they're having, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it. So we're sort of in a wait and see for now. But that was kind of the big discussion of the day, is how do we make this decision, when I certainly don't have all the information. I'm not an expert, and I'm not, so even if I were to look it up, it's not really something that I'm able to interpret properly. And so it's something that I'm really guessing at and just trying to feel what the right decision is, which is really tough, especially when it's a scientific thing that we're dealing with, and there could be a right and wrong answer, but we're not going to know until later. So I'm leaning towards no, because I really want this pandemic to be over sooner rather than later, and that's like how I can contribute to that. But also, I know that for myself, I don't feel like I'm not going to be doing well. I have to figure out how to take care of myself when it's not volleyball. So I would love to know how you make decisions like this. Like, how do you think this through? What are your criteria that you use to make a decision? Or maybe you don't have criteria, or maybe there's a decision that you've made that's kind of similar in the past. I mean, this is sort of a weird scenario, so maybe it'll be the recent past. But how are you? yeah, maybe that's a better question. How are you making these decisions for yourself in this pandemic? How are you balancing trying to support the public and wanting to like be a good citizen that contributes to making this pandemic go away as fast as possible, and also balancing your physical and mental health, and you know, even going out and supporting local small business, or just going about as normal a routine as possible? Like how are you making those choices, and what have you decided? I would love to hear your thoughts on that, and maybe it'll help me to decide on this volleyball thing. I hope you're doing well, and see you tomorrow.